Hello, 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 filter-free America listeners. Welcome back to the show. Joey Vincent, I am here. I am in your ears. Today's date, August 28th, the year 2014. This is a interview episode of the Filter-Free America podcast. If you've been a regular listener with us, you know by now this is where we bring in a special guest and we sit down with them in the studio here at Houndstooth Studios. We talk to them about maybe it's their occupation, interest they have in life, a special cause that's important to them, or just an experience that they had. And we have that conversation, we record it, and then we play it for you. And most of the time, you guys seem to enjoy it. So welcome back. Let's talk about today's episode. This is definitely a super important episode to me. Anybody who's been a longtime listener here on the show knows how important and how much I rant and rave about the problems with law enforcement in America. So that's going to be the core of what we're talking about. The guest today is a gentleman by the name of Chris Lollie. He also goes by the name Minnesota Fresh because he is a hip-hop artist here in the Twin Cities area. Reason he is our guest for this topic was last January, Chris had a very disturbing interaction with the St. Paul, Minnesota Police Department that he was able to video record as it was happening. He is going to sit down with us, share what led up to that. We're going to talk about the actual video that he shot, and we're going to talk about the things that happened after that, as well as what's going on with this case right now. Definitely probably one of our most important episodes to date, so I hope you guys appreciate this for what it is. This is so important. Matter of fact, we don't even have a guest. You normally have a guest co-host that comes in and sits down with us, but I didn't even want to add that to the mix because I wanted to focus on Chris and his story and make sure that I get told correctly. As far as staff we have in studio today, as always, Tony Williamette is here with Houndstooth Studios. If you're not familiar with Houndstooth Studios, go to houndstoothstudio.com. Check that out. Also in studio today is Dan Ramsey of Watch Out for Snakes Productions. He and his company have just started working with Filter Free America, doing some video work for us. And what he's doing in studio today is we're actually going to shoot a video of the whole interview that we're filming today. Normally we don't do that. We've never done that before. This is going to be the very first time. But again, I think this is a very important episode, and I wanted this to be documented and be available to people as many forms as possible. So we'll have that. We're going to actually release the podcast tonight as soon as possible to get that out of there. But then shortly after, as soon as we can, will be available in video form on our YouTube channel. So just search for Filter Free America for that as well too. So again, guys, this is a super important episode. I'm glad you guys tuned in, listened to each and every minute of it. And I guess prepare yourself for this episode of the Filter Free America podcast. All right, we are here, Filter Free America listeners. We are in the studio. We have Chris, Minnesota Fresh Lollie is in the studio with us. Chris, I want to start first by just getting your social media stuff out of the way, your points of contact, where people can seek you out, where they can seek your music. So whatever you got, it's a good time to talk about it.
Well, yeah, Minnesota Fresh, man. Minnesota, Minnesota, Fresh, FR3SH. I mean, you can throw that in Google and everything that, you know, my name's attached to, even people that are attached to my name will pop up. And, yeah, Twitter, SoundCloud, all Minnesota Fresh, you know, Minnesota FR3SH. Don't forget the 3 was the name of the first mixtape. I got a lot of things I'm working on right now, so just stay tuned. The Facebook page is Freshman, FR3SHMN. And yeah, I mean, Twitter, all that stuff.
And CDs that you do have, something that people can buy right now?
Oh yeah, well, as of right now, you know, I'm not selling it, but I definitely have on that Piff, Reverb Nation, SoundCloud, YouTube. You know, I got a lot of music out there right now, so
and people can just download that for free.
Yeah, yeah. As of right now, yep, that is the case. So,
okay. And during our break today, we're gonna play one track from your song, and then we're also on the exit of the podcast. So you actually people get to hear 2 episodes or two songs of yours on this episode.
So yeah, the best way for people to find me, basically just Google Minnesota Fresh and everything will come up.
Cool. And I will post links to all this stuff, especially your Reverb Nation page when the episode goes up, so people can click on that and make it a little easier as well. Let's dive right into the interview here. And kind of first, I want to get just a little bit of background on you, just so people know who you are. First, how old are you?
I just turned 28, August 25th.
Okay, just turned 28. Were you born here in Minnesota?
I was born in Chicago. I moved up here when I was 13 and been up here ever since.
Okay. And you have kids as well?
Yep, got 4 kids. Alana, or Tanea's my oldest. She's 10. She'll be 11 in December. And then my baby, Alana, she just turned 5 a month before I did. I got a junior, my little man. He's 2. And then I got a little baby. She'll be 1 in October. Her name is Tatum.
Awesome. And we've kind of talked about your job as you're a hip-hop artist. But are you working also? I know you were leaving work during the video.
Well, yeah, at that point, yeah, I was working a lot. But at this point in time, my kids aren't actually in that daycare anymore. So me and the mother of my children, we're together right now. So we figured out, basically I stay at home and take care of the kids because it's
stay-at-home father.
Yep, it's easier right now.
Respectable job. Yeah, it's almost like making more money.
Well, I mean, and it's rewarded. My kids love me, and that's one of the best feelings in the world, man.
Fair enough. I do want to ask you before we get into the story here, have you ever had any issues with law enforcement before? Have you ever been in trouble by the cops? Again, and I'm asking you as a person who's convicted of felony. I'll highlight 2 stories just, in my life, and I'm going to go way back, and then I'll come to recent. But me and my mom and my sister were going to a wedding from Chicago to Zanesville, Ohio. I was about 7 or 8 years old. My sister was like 9 or 10, something like that. But we're on the highway in a Dodge Intrepid. It was a newer version, it was in '98. Right. So I'm playing with the center console in the back seat. Just lifting up and down, just playing with it. And then we get whooped by the police. They pull us over while we're in Ohio. And he basically talks to my mom and pulls her out the car. And, me being, I didn't know what was going on. But then when she got back in the car, me and my sister's like, well, what happened, Mom? What happened? And she said, I told y'all, basically, I told y'all stop messing with that armrest. He thought y'all had guns or like y'all was hiding something back there. And I was like, but, that seems like a horrible excuse to pull somebody over. That's what
it was ridiculous. I mean, and I was young and I was like, why would I even, but, and then recent, I wouldn't say recently, this is 2009. So this is something, I worked at CSL Plasma and I was outside on a smoke break. And I was smoking, with a coworker. I'm outside smoking, and a unmarked, police truck rolls past with their window down, and he just ice grills me hard. So I turned to my coworker and I said, what you think he was looking at? Right. And they
normal response that anybody else would do.
Well, what was he looking at? So he go to the end of the corner and make a right, and I was like, I was like, watch, they finna come all the way around here and mess with me. Sure enough, they pull up, right in the parking lot, let the windows down and say, do you have a problem? Me in 2009, do you have a problem? That was my response.
That would be me in 10 minutes ago. If did that to me. I would be like, no, what is your problem?
Do you have
adult Joey Vincent?
Yeah, no kidding. That's me every day. What the fuck are you looking at?
All of them hopped out instantly. I mean,
how many?
4 of them instantly hop out. They choke me up, and I said, I was just ranting things, and I was just going off. There's one thing I remember I said, I was like, you motherfucking pigs, oh, woo, woo. And the white cop was like, oh, so you're racist. I was like, I was just going off for a complete 5 minutes straight, just, yeah. And I was like, you pig motherfucker. Oh, so you're a racist. I was like, race pig? What?
Is it pig as a race?
I didn't get, it shut me up. He got me to shut up because I was like, what the fuck? But at the end of the day, everybody's outside, they're watching it. And after it's over, I go back into the office, where my managers are, and I tell them what happened to me. And these assholes had the nerve to smile like it was funny. It's like, I'm irate right now. Like, they did this, and they're like, really?
There's nothing funny about 4 guys with guns jumping out.
I just said, you know what? I'm going to go to the cameras because it had to be caught on camera. Sure enough, they choked me up. It's like 5 or 6 cameras outside the building. But they choked me up right under 2 of them where none of them caught anything.
So it was more than just verbal. They actually choked you against the wall.
Oh yeah.
And I'm glad you noticed that when you grow up in like the inner city areas or lower income area in the hood, right? People don't get that's like a normal thing. And yes, it's against the law, but this
I
is
watched
what
The
cops
Wire,
have
so
done.
I think I have a better understanding.
The Wire is as pretty as real as it gets.
For real.
Like you go out somewhere in Minnetonka, like the guy, hello, how are you doing today, sir? That's how it is.
Catch his
But
guys,
you in the
man.
hood, you give a cop not the level of respect that he wants, and this is not every case. I know,
And it's not. It definitely isn't.
but there, especially you get a couple of them together, then it's like it's like there's a gang mentality to it, and there's a certain mentality of certain cops that think they need to physically prove themselves, and
I had
they'll
a
never be
friend-
challenged.
I had
Especially
a
don't be a
friend
black
break
person
it
and
down
challenge
to
someone.
me in this way. He said, when you encounter two female cops, normally it's like a easy situation. Sometimes you might have one of them that are a little more angry, but he said when it's two male cops, that tends to be even too. But he said what happens when you have a female cop and a male cop, what tends to happen is either she's trying to prove herself to him or vice versa. So it always tends to, and I think that's why she
Gets
stalled.
pretty aggressive pretty
Oh
quick.
yeah, it definitely does, because either one of them's like, I'm gonna prove myself.
I gotta say, it is
You know.
refreshing to hear a female cop act this way. With all the videos coming out, it's usually the machismo male cops, right?
Yeah. Oh, so the female cops I've seen can
She
be
was cool.
just as bad, if not worse.
She was
huh?
cool until they got there, though. That was the thing.
Oh,
see,
you're talking
like,
about the one in the video?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
she
what I'm saying.
did.
She was cool.
and
And
that's
it's
exactly what it
refreshing to
is.
get the video with the female cop instead of just the all male cops that we used to.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it says,
That is
because she
true.
didn't want to be by herself.
It's a breath of fresh air, you might say. Chris.
Trying to be an asshole by herself. It's easier to be an asshole when there's two
Exactly.
buddies with guns.
Right,
too.
I like that.
Let's go into what happened right before you hit record on the video. And why don't you kind of summarize your day of what led up to where you were at in the Skywall?
I mean,
Skyway.
I would go back to, at least waking up to go to work at, 2:00 in the morning. And not only that, I lived at that point, I lived on Burr and Minnehaha. So at 3:00 in the morning or 2:00, whatever, there's no buses running. But this was a job, and it was long term, so I'm like, I'm gonna make it there every day. So I walked. I walked all the way to Casetas, worked from, 3 to 9 that day.
You work at Caseta?
At that time, I worked at Casetas.
Okay.
So the overnight shift, it was a maintenance custodian, just general
Okay.
cleaning, stuff like that. So I get off at 9. Normally, I'm supposed to get off at 11, but I get off early this day. And I walk to my child's daycare center. So I go in, and the director sees me. Everybody in there knows me, even the kids, so... I asked her, first, before that, I stopped at the bus stop because it was around 9:25-ish. So the 68 runs, 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30, it's like that. So I actually waited there first and didn't see them on the first bus. So I was like, okay, they probably in there already. So I go in there and ask them. She's like, no, they haven't made it here yet. I'm like, okay, well, I'm picking them up today. So I walk around and, I'll be back. So the next bus came at, 10 o'clock. So I'm like, okay. I'll walk around, find me a seat, get up and go back. So I walk through the Skyway. It was abnormally busy, for about, 9 o'clock in the morning. It seemed maybe they hadn't made it to work yet or whatever, but it seemed like it was lunchtime or something.
And we've got listeners in all parts of the world. A Skyway, if you're not catching what this is, in Minnesota where we live at, it gets super cold. And like in the downtown areas of Minneapolis and St. Paul, they have basically tunnels from building to building that you don't have to walk outside and freeze.
Tunnels hovering above the street.
Yeah,
so
they're
cars-
above the
There
street
you go.
level, so it's like the second level of these buildings, and they all connect all these buildings and down to. So this is where all this is happening. So go ahead from there.
So, let's see, where was I? I got lost there.
You're still waiting for them to get off the bus, I believe.
Oh yeah. So I'm waiting on them to get off the bus, but I talked to the director, they're not there, so I chose to walk around for a little bit. So it was busy. That's where I was. It was busy. So I kept walking until, there's a lot of chairs everywhere in the Skyway littered around, but I didn't see one until I got, to the First National Bank Skyway area. So I sit down
And,
and I
this
pull
is a bench.
No, it's like there's chairs.
Okay.
Along the side of the west side wall, there's just chairs.
Is this inside the bank part, or is it still on the outside of the sky in the Skyway part?
It's like the hallway. So, as you walk, I don't know if you know, but as you walk through the Skyway, they're like stores and it's just a Skyway area. So, I walked over the overpass over the street and saw the chairs. I'm okay, I'm gonna sit right here. So I sat on the ones closest to the door because it was the first one.
Is it like a public area
Yeah,
where anybody
yep.
can walk through? Anybody can
Actually, Liz from from WCCO, she texted me and said, I went down there and asked them if it was a public seating area, and they told me yes. I was like, oh. She's like, funny, right? I was like, yeah.
Is Liz a white lady?
It is. Oh, yeah, of course. You know.
So maybe it's just for white people.
Liz, what's her last name? She did the story. She's doing the story tonight for WCCO. So, yeah, she said she actually went down there and asked them.
Good job, Liz.
Yeah, man. So I'm sitting down. I'm on my phone. And there's an Asian guy sitting at the desk already, you know, so I see, you know, I saw him.
You're suspicious already.
Not really, not necessarily, because he saw me and, you know.
This is an employee of the bank?
Yeah, he was a security guard, you know.
Well,
not an employee, but yeah, just a security guard sitting at the desk. So he acknowledges me. I see him. We look at each other. And he just turns around like, you know, nonchalant. It was all, you know, I felt it was like, oh, okay, you know, he saw me or whatever. Yeah. And then a few, like, you know, a minute and a half later, what seemed to be a supervisor walked up to the front of the desk, said a few words, and turned my way. And, you know, as soon as he turned my way, it was like, you know, marching.
Can I do an impression of what he said? Who's the black guy?
something probably to that effect. And the Asian guy was like, I don't know. He's sitting there. He's like, you know. But he walks up to me and he says, you know, something to the effect of, you know, what's your business here? Do you have any business in here or something like that? And I'm like, well, yeah, you know, my kids are at New Horizon. I'm just waiting on them to get there so I can pick them up. And he's like, okay, well.
You clearly explained.
Yeah, I definitely told him. And he was like, oh, well, this is a private area and you can't sit here. You have to move. So, you know, literally in his face, you know, while you're looking at me now, I just. Everywhere I could visibly see, you know, standing signs, nothing. I said, well, I don't see any signs that says that this is a private area. So if there are no signs stating that, how am I supposed to know that this is a private area? He had the nerve to say, you're just supposed to know. And when he said that, he got a little irate with me, like his tone raised. And so not only it's what he said, but his tone raised a little bit. And I was like,
this is not the security guard?
This is the supervisor security guard.
Oh,
you
the
know,
head.
Top flight, yeah, security,
okay,
man, all day. But
he got a double-sized flashlight.
Right. Double, yeah. He got the
pension.
I have the pension flashlight looking. But either way, man. He once that happened, you know, he told me, you know, I shut up, and then he said that he was going to call the police, you know, so he got irate, and when that happens, you know, I just shut down. I was like, I went straight to my phone and just like, whatever. He was like, well, I'm going to call the police on you. So I was like, well, okay, you know, do that, and I'm pretty sure they're going to tell you the same thing.
Right.
In my head the whole time, you know, I was sure of that, you know, in hindsight.
And just for review, you're just sitting there.
Yeah, and I'm on my phone.
You're not polishing a pistol.
No, no.
You don't have like blueprints to the bank.
Nothing.
I have two phones.
Okay.
I actually have on like 3 coats, a hat. Like I have on a hoodie, so I walk to work at 3 a.m. in the morning. Right. So and it's cold, so I'm bundled super. I'm like, you know, but I'm sitting there, you know, I got 2 phones and I'm just looking at them. You know, simple as that. So he walks back to the desk, and this was about, you know, he walks up to me about 2 minutes after. So at about 9:45 or 6-ish was when he was back at the desk. You know, we'd had that conversation. You know, he's calling the police, all this stuff. So I said, okay. So I still sit there until 9:50, which was the time I had planned to sit there anyway because the bus was coming at 10. You know, I wanted to get there before the bus had pulled up either way. So I was going to leave at 9:50. Take me about 7-8 minutes to get there. I'm just a time person. It might be a little OCD-ish, man, but it's just a time. But I think it might have saved me. But so I get up at 9:50 and I walk, and by this time she's coming through the overpass over the street.
This is the first cop.
Yep, the first cop. She's walking up to me, and immediately she just grabs me and says, you know, she grabs my arm.
Okay, this is the part where you start to press play.
Nope.
Okay, go ahead.
This is still before that. So she grabs my arm and I pull back like, hold on, you know, don't grab me. What's going on? Right. And she says, and
just so everybody knows, it's a police officer cannot grab you if you're wanted unless they've witnessed you committing a crime or they have a statement swearing that you committed a crime. A police officer cannot restrain you.
So
it's unlawful detention is what that is.
She came up from behind you?
No, we walked up on each other like eye contact the whole time. I knew, I knew it. You know, I could have just like, oh. and went down. You know, I'm like, you know, I already know. So, you know, I'm good.
You didn't commit. You had nothing to worry about.
Yeah, you know. So eye contact. Boom. She. Boom. Hold on. You know what's going on? Don't grab me. And she was like, well, I got a call or something. You know, something to that effect. She got a call, and I was just trying to find out what happened. And I was like, well, I was sitting in that chair, and he walked up to me and, you know, told me I couldn't sit there. It was a private area, you know. And that's, I had to explain this to her like 10 times, you know. So even before the video.
Already you're going above and beyond what you're legally required to do.
I was telling them the whole, like I was just sitting there, but she was adamant about, what were you doing? What were you doing? What were you doing? I'm like, okay. I got to the point where she had asked me so many times, and she asked me, you know, she was like, well, can you stop and talk? And I was like, you know, I have somewhere to be at this moment in time, so, you know, we can walk and talk fine. And that's when we started walking and talking.
And this is her knowing that she cannot detain you. That's why
I believe
the cops trick you and they say, may I search your car?
Yeah, and I know the consent thing. I know, you know, vaguely how that goes, you know, so I wasn't trying to give the consent to do anything, but I did want to tell her what happened. You know, I was sitting there, you know, that's... You
went above your requirement. You took the time, like, this is what I was doing.
That's
I was
what
sitting.
Happened. Exactly.
I explained that, now I'm doing this.
So, you know, we talked a little bit more, and I kept explaining it to her, and eventually, you know, I hit record, and I mean, essentially, that's everything that happened before I hit record.
Okay, cool. So that's the point there. Now, what I'm going to do for the audience here, I'm gonna get you guys ready for this, is first off, this is almost a 6-minute piece of audio. This is the audio that we lifted directly from the video that Chris shot and that he loaded. It is edited down. He said there was 22 minutes total, but it kind of ended after, this is up to when he actually got arrested, cuffed, and they carried him away. Now, I am choosing to play the complete length of this 6-minute thing, and I know that seems excessive, but I feel every minute is very important to this. What I want you all to hear is how politely Chris talks to the St. Paul Police Department officer, and I want you to hear how the St. Paul Police Department officers talk to him in every illegal request that they made of him. Please note the difference of the conversation when it was just the lady officer by herself, and also when the other officers arrived. Pick that up as well, too. And you'll hear along the way Chris making a lot of great points, talking about what he's required to do and what not to do. But the whole time, even after they grab him up, they're tasing him, he's still talking with a degree of respect and decorum that I personally would not ever want to do. Now, lastly, this is going to be tricky for some of you, is like, as you're listening to this, I don't want you to listen to it as yourself. I want you to, if you're not driving, okay, or flying, please close your eyes and try to imagine yourself as a black man in America, and this is happening to you, okay? Keep in mind as you're doing this that you're Chris, and you have 2 kids that you love very much that are waiting for you to pick them up, okay? Keep all of that in mind and listen to it and try to feel where your emotional level would be as this was happening to you and how you would respond. Tony, please play the audio.
So what's your business with me right now?
I want to find out who you are and what the problem was back
There
then.
is no problem. That's the thing.
So talk to me, let me know
And
who
let you
are,
know.
and you can be on your way.
Why do I have to let you know who I am? Who I am isn't
because
the problem.
that's what police do when they get called.
Well, I don't have to let
identify
you.
people.
Well, I know my rights, first off. Secondly,
Okay.
I don't have to let you know who I am if I haven't broken any laws. I told him, I'm going to New Horizons to pick up my kids at 10 o'clock. Okay. I was sitting there for 10 minutes. Fully. Okay. Like, not before he walked up to me or anything. He walked up to me a minute after and got irate with me.
Okay.
So first off, that's a public area, and if there's no sign that doesn't say this is a private area, you can't sit here, no one can tell me I can't sit there. If that's the case, then I can't sit here. The problem is I'm black. That's the problem. No, it really is, because I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not sitting there with a group of people. I'm sitting there by myself. Not causing a problem with anyone. There isn't a sign that says this is a private area, you can't sit here. Therefore, you cannot tell me I can't sit there if I'm not doing anything wrong. What's going on, brother?
What's going on?
I gotta go get my kids. No. Please don't touch me. Please don't touch me.
You're gonna go to jail then.
No, wait.
You're gonna go to jail.
I'm not doing anything wrong.
Hold on.
Can you
Hold on.
please?
I'm not
No, come on, brother.
Hold on. I'm not here to argue. I'm not your brother.
This is assault. Can you please?
Hold on. I'm not here to argue with you.
Wrong, sir.
Put your hands behind your back.
No, can you please
Put
not
your hands
do
behind
this?
your back.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Put your hands behind your back.
Come on, really? I gotta go get my kids.
Put your hands behind your back, otherwise it's gonna get ugly.
What do you need from me?
I told you.
Can
I
you
want to
have
talk
him
to
let me
you
go?
and identify you so we can
told her
settle what
everything.
happened.
I haven't done anything wrong.
I told you what I wanted initially.
And
So we could settle all
Put your hands
this.
behind your back.
You started to.
Right now.
I haven't done anything
You're gonna
wrong.
get tased.
Please, no, don't do this. Please,
Put your hands behind the program. Put your hands behind your back. Turn around.
Can somebody help me? That's my kids right there. My kids are right there.
Yeah, put your hands behind your back.
Put your hands behind your back. Don't choke me. I have asthma, sir.
Well, you're gonna get
I'm not doing
tased.
anything. I'm not doing
You're gonna get
anything.
tased.
I'm doing. Ow! Get down! Get down! Get down! Get down! I'm not doing anything. Can you stop, please? Someone help me! Someone please help me! Please help me! Please! Please help me! Can someone please help me? I haven't done anything wrong. Can someone please help me? Really?
help you.
I
Just
haven't
shut
done
down.
anything wrong.
Just shut down for
I
a little bit.
haven't- I've been talking to this lady the whole walk here. I told her.
Do you have any
No,
weapons?
sir. I'm trying to pick up my kids. Sir, come on now.
Picking up your kids doesn't
Hey,
override abiding with the law.
What law? What law did I break? This lady, come on. What law did I break? I was talking to you. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't curse at you. I didn't do anything. Tell you what I was doing. Officer, I'm not going to tell you what I have.
Calm down.
This is some bull. I have marijuana on me in my pocket. I do not sell. I work. I take care of my kids.
We can care less about the marijuana, but we want to
I
problem.
don't have any problem. What problem? And I need your names and I need your badge number.
have all that. You can have it.
I told you you didn't have to touch me. I wasn't running. I wasn't going anywhere. I don't have any weapons or anything. Didn't you tase me? For what? I didn't even feel that shit. For real. I could have ran. I could have. Come on. Yeah, there it is right there. Marijuana.
That what's causing you to be like this?
I just got off work at 9 o'clock. I worked at Casetas. I came up here to come pick up my kids at 10 o'clock. And I get this? Racist motherfuckers. All y'all. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm a working man and I take care of my kids. And I get this and you tase me? And you tase me? For what? I don't have any fucking weapons. You're the ones with the weapons here. Stop grabbing my dick. Are you gay? Fuck, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't break any laws and you tased me. That's assault. That's assault. It is. I didn't do anything wrong. Oh, I should. Mr. Schmidt?
Mr. Schmidt.
Yes. Yes, I sure will. I sure will, Mr. Moore. Yes, I sure will. Y'all some ass. I didn't do anything wrong.
Jeez. Yeah.
525 or code
Can I
4
please go
security
get my
open.
kids? Take whatever you need to take. I didn't
Too late.
break any law.
Too late. You're going to jail.
How?
You're going to have
Why?
to make arrangements to pick up your
Why? Why am I going to jail? What did I
kids.
do?
It'll be explained to you if you would.
Are you serious?
Did I not ask you to stop and talk to me
I have-
2
I'm-
skyways ago?
Why do I have to stop? I was talking to you the
Because
whole
I
way.
asked you to.
You're not. Who are you? You don't rule me. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't touch anybody.
done
Are you
talking.
fucking? I got a job that I have to maintain
guess
here.
what?
No. Are you
You're
serious?
going to jail.
Can I guess my bus card? No, I need all of that work.
You're going to get all your shit.
Are you serious? This is slavery. Fucking asshole. This is racist. They stopped me because I'm black. I didn't do anything in here. My children, they came downstairs. They assaulted me. They tased me and everything.
All right, so there you have it. I hope you all listen to that completely and try to get a feel for what it would like to be on the receiving end of that. How does that feel hearing that now when you go back to it? And I'm sure you've watched the video plenty of times.
Honestly, no.
You haven't?
I don't.
You don't want to live it again?
When I got the phones back July 31st, you know, after winning, you know, because I was still elated, you know, after winning. So I had watched it after I got home. Me and my girl watched it, you know, the mother of my kids. We watch it, and, you know, we watched the whole thing in its entirety.
And the whole thing was 22 minutes,
Yeah,
and
20,
Chris told us
12
off air
seconds.
that it was,
Yep.
you just stopped it where the rest of you became separated from the phone, so it made no
then
point.
You hear
getting that.
rustling, and, you know, I don't think they ever turned the phone off. It might have died or something like that, but, yeah, so we sat there and went through it, and I I guess, I mean, at that point, you know, after getting the case dismissed, we're like, you know, it's a victory, you know, so I didn't even really want to watch it. She wanted to see it because she wasn't there.
That's the reason why you're just now, because this was happening in January. You went to court in July, and we'll talk about the court after the second half. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But you were not allowed to get your phone back from from January till
6 months to the day, January 31st
they held your property,
to July.
refused to give it to you.
Yep.
I'm so shocked that the tape is still there.
I essentially begged for my phone, you know.
Right.
I mean, I saw the item list, you know, for my properties, and I'm like, where are my phones? They're like, oh, don't worry about it, just sign, you know, and give it back in.
Don't worry about your property.
Yeah, just sign this and shut up.
Say, Chris, I know you got a lawyer and everything. How much did winning, and I say that in quotes, how much did winning cost you? If you don't mind me asking.
Did you have a public defender? Or did you have
nothing?
I mean, you don't win anything.
Yeah.
That's the worst part.
I mean, now that you say something, I mean, I guess, yeah, everything that I had before that case, I still have now. You know, my pride, I stood on that. You know, I wanted to stand on everything I believed in. So, I mean, I guess it was a win in the simple fact that I'm able to do that.
Yeah, and you're free.
Yeah, you know.
Let's save that before going deeper in that, because I want to kind of do it as a progression here. Let's first start from where that where the audio stopped right there. And can you describe to me what happened to you after we ended right there? I'm assuming that you got arrested, you went to jail. Just the process that went from there.
They take me down, you know, the escalators, and what you hear at the end while I'm talking like that, that's not for the cops.
Right.
Now that's for, I mean, there's so many people sitting and watching. So that's for everybody that's watching. So, you know, they can know, like, you know, this is who I am and this is what's happening to me right now. You know, and one thing that really stood out, and
that's another thing, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because that situation, it's embarrassing for you.
It is.
It is. Number one, all these people, especially that time of day, lots of business people, lots of people going to their jobs and whatever.
And I still had to go in that building and pick up my kids every day. You know?
and the psychology is, for right, wrong, or indifferent, when the people see, and I don't want to make this a race thing, because to me, if you watch the videos of what's going on right now, it's happening to everybody. To me, it's more of an economic thing. I think
it's an abuse of authority. You know, I mean, it comes down to race, but it's only the people that have this, you know, quote unquote authority that tend to have a problem with your race.
Right.
You know, it's just like,
to me, it's a technology thing, and this stuff's been going on forever, and we're finally able to pull through.
How many stories don't have a cell phone to hit record, and how many things get about?
I remember back in the 90s, they said www, you know, that was the devil, and oh my God, don't look. But I'm telling you, man, the internet is really putting a lot of things. It's
probably kept a lot of innocent people out of jail, and probably saved a lot of innocent lives. Here's the thing, and I know race does play a part in a lot of cases, but I think right here in this one here, it's as much economic as it is race. Because if that was a black man in a $3,000 suit sitting there reading the business section of a newspaper, they'd have gave it a second thought.
He'd have been like, I'm not gonna mess with him. Yeah, you're right. He was like, oh,
Chris was wearing.
But don't think for a minute that race does not play.
Chris was wearing 3 jackets totaling $3,000.
We had 2 phones too, so that's another grand.
But
right there.
You know, right there.
Don't mess with them.
At least $800, man.
Right. As they're arresting you, as they're putting the cuffs on you, anything that we didn't hear, were they insulting to you in any way? Did they call you any names? Was there any physical abuse outside of normal cuffing and stuffing, I guess, is to put it?
Nothing. I mean, other than, I guess there was an instance where, you know, but I was already in lockup and they were just doing too much. But I guess there was nothing really there that, you know, after they put me in the car, it was just like, we're doing our job, you know, you're in cuffs, just, you know. It was over at that point, you know what I'm saying? So to begin with, I wasn't even violent or resisting, you know what I'm saying? I just had a lot of questions.
Right.
But by the time I was in the car, you know,
they talk to you? Do they, you know, do they?
I definitely called them.
What you guys just
I had a couple racist things, you know. I'm like, y'all racist motherfucker, woo woo woo, and he's like, you know. When we get
is that your thing, the racist and then the woo woo woo?
Yeah, whoa, 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 you know, just et cetera, you know, that's what that means, you know, woo woo, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
But so they get me down to the police station, and they put me in the you know, holding cell for they, you know, try, you know, process the booking or whatever. He comes in there to take pictures of, you know, where he tased me, like in disbelief, you know.
Oh, I
like,
forgot about that. How many times were you tased during this?
Well, he shot me with the taser, but
This is the one where the arrows come out, little
Yep.
darts come out and they hit you.
but it went into my pant leg. And like
your 17 coats that you
it
had
must
on.
have just been well, yeah. If he'd have shot, that's why he ripped it open. He was like, all these coats he got on, and he must have saw the hoodie under too and was like, go around, just shoot him in the leg, man. He bundled up here. You go. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why he shot me in my leg, because he saw how bundled up I was, and probably another reason why he asked me if I had any weapons, because I'm like,
You were prepared, man.
you know. But yeah, it didn't go into my skin, but it went into my pant leg. So when he noticed that, he was appalled, like, this motherfucker just, you know. I was like, did you just tase me? And he was like, what? You know, and then he did a drive stun on my leg, and that's, you know, when I went down.
You felt that.
Oh, well, to be honest.
See, that's one thing I've never had. I've been maced, I've been punched by a car. I've never been tased. I've never had
And
that.
people have told me if they would have penetrated my skin, it would have been a lot worse, but it wasn't that bad. It was like my leg was just like, all right, bro, you done. You know, my leg was just like, all right, I'm done.
Right,
you know,
right.
but just this one, no, you know, so I wasn't disabled, but it was just like, come on, you know, my hands are already behind my back, you know, so it's like, what do you?
Tased you with cuffs on.
The cuffs weren't on until I was on the ground, but they had my hand. One of my hands were already behind my back, you know.
And you weren't fighting or trying to get away?
I had my phone, so when you see them, when it goes black, and you actually see the female officer, or you see, I don't know if. I know it's the female officer, but I think you see a blue uniform come to the right side of me because I'm bracing myself on the wall, you know, with my left arm behind my back. So she took, you know, advantage of that and just, you know, simply just grabbed my hand. And I didn't pull it away. I was just like, you know, she grabbed it and I'm still talking. Like, what did I do? You know?
So was it the act of you talking that they thought they were
That's
justified
all
to
I
use the
was
taser?
doing. That's all I was doing. Was talking. Like, what did I do? What
Didn't swing,
even
didn't
in
try
the
to get
video,
up,
like,
didn't-
what do you want from me? You know,
Right,
like, what did I do? You know, so when they put the phone down, they took it out of my hands, put it down, and then put my hands behind my back and started accosting me at that point. You know, choking me and, you know, doing, you know, rip my coat open and all that. So
Was there,
they had
was there
already
a
had
literal choke? Was there a hand around your neck?
yeah.
Restraint
Oh
type
yeah. Oh
thing?
definitely. But soon as I told him I have asthma, you know what I'm saying? You choking me, I got asthma. He let me go.
Right.
But
He saw that video in New York.
Yeah. Well, this was before that. had
Yeah,
happened.
I suppose.
this
Yeah.
was before that. So still in all, he did let me go, but then proceeded to rip my coat open after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna tase you, and I'm like, for what? What did I do? You know, I'm still asking all these questions. So by the time my phones are down, you know, they have control. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only control I had was this. Like, you know, I got my phone in my hand, and you know, I'm trying to catch this. But once that was down,
So
you
one
know.
one tasing for talking is essentially kind of when you didn't shut up and give them the respect that they
I just wanted to know what the fuck the problem was.
like
and they
any
didn't even
other
tell
normal
me,
human being when they get kidnapped.
They
That's
didn't
exactly
tell me
you,
what I did until I was in the cop car.
Okay. Well, what did they tell you when you were in the cop car? What did they say they were arresting you for?
Oh yeah, trespassing, disorderly conduct, and obstruction of justice.
Trespassing in a public space, disorderly conduct by trying to invoke your rights.
I think maybe the disorderly conduct came from me letting everybody know who I was. You know, they were like, oh, he's telling people, you know, so I wasn't yelling, but I was projecting my voice like, you know, you hear it in the video, you know, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is why I'm here.
Right.
Simple as that, you know. And it's ingrained in my memory. There's a white lady sitting there while I'm talking, and I'm looking everybody in their face, you know what I'm saying? And she has this smirk on her face like it's, you know, it's kind of hard to explain it in words, but it was like exciting. Like she got her rocks off of it.
Really?
It's like another black man just making poor decisions.
That's what I was saying that before.
You know, yeah,
It's like
something-
that's the mentality, unfortunately, that a lot of people have. Well, he's black. He must have done
Like,
something
yeah,
wrong.
he
He's
had
got-
to do
He's got
something.
dreads in his hair. Jesus.
Something.
Right?
I mean, that look just is so ingrained in my. It was sick. It's sickening to even think about it, really, because it's like, how can you enjoy that? You know?
With people flipping out phones and trying to shoot video and all that
I
stuff.
don't
too.
even know.
It was
I
just
really
going on so
don't.
fast. That's a sad state of affairs. That's how that people look at that. That's what's going on. So you get to jail. They arrest you. They book you. How long are you in jail?
I was in there for 4 hours.
Okay. Did you have to bail out or?
Yeah, I had to. I went through a bondsman and bailed out. And well, it was crazy because while I was in there, There's actually a guy I go to school. I used to go to school with at Johnson, named Bubba. You know, Big Bubba. I guess he's a.
There's always a
sheriff.
Bubba in jail.
Yeah, you know, Bubba. But yeah, man, we were real cool. We had an advisory in high school together. You know, we were real cool. Sure enough, you know, he's walking past in this sheriff outfit or whatever.
Oh, he was an officer. Holy
yeah,
shit. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I'm sitting there just watching TV, you know, whatever. And he's walking past. He's like, "Lollie?" I was like, "Yeah, man. What's up?" He's like, "What happened?" I just looked at him like, I don't even want to talk about it. It's just a lot. But
He
he's
should
like,
have told you were black in a non-black zone. That's
he
what it
knows
was.
me, you know.
Right.
So you know, I mean, he knows me. Like, you know, we 4 years together in the same advisory every Tuesday and Thursday. You know, so he knows the type of person I am. So he's like, you know, you good? You know, you need anything? You need any extra calls? You know, just let me know.
Well, that's
And
cool
that,
that you had that.
yeah,
That's-
you know, that in itself, you know, it was nice.
Of course,
It was
now
definitely
when they hear
nice.
this, they're probably going to fire him now.
Oh shit!
Don't
Sorry,
fire Bubba. Bubba, they give you new shit, Bubba. You come on the
Bubba.
show.
Oh, life,
We'll
I got
fight for you too, bro.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
I'll pay you more than they do if I ever make it as a rapper. I got you, Bubba. You be my security guard. I got you. You can wear the same outfit too.
That's a good segue because something I don't want to forget is Chris is also Minnesota Fresh and like I've said on Facebook, I'm a huge rap and hip hop fan. I love rap music. I've fallen off recently because there's so much garbage out there now.
It's saturated.
I'm tired of hearing about cars. I'm tired of hearing about rims.
And there's so many
Everything is-
conspiracy videos to watch. You
Yeah,
can't find time.
Plus I don't have a lot of free time.
Isn't
That's
that
fine.
the truth? Hey, I do the same thing. I can't even front. You know,
I know, I like
I
you for a
love
reason.
watching. You know.
We'll talk about 9/11, smoke weed one day together.
Hey, yeah, that sounds awesome. Definitely. We're talking about 9/11 right now. Right?
Goddamn
Honestly,
right.
911.
Right? But here's the deal. Like, if it's bullshit music, like, that sucks. I don't like that. But when I heard the first song that I heard from him, I was totally blown away. Because a lot of times, especially here in Twin Cities, you know, there's like a bunch of wannabe rappers who just put out a bunch of garbage. They record in their basement and it sounds like shit. You're
I've been
not
at that level before, though. You
Right.
know, I've definitely been there.
Yeah, but you've got great production, you've got great lyrics, your songs have meaning to them, and I really, really appreciate you as a rapper as well as what you're
Thank
doing
you.
here
Thank
today
you.
too.
Thank you.
So we're gonna take our break right now and give you a chance to hear the first of 2 songs that we're gonna play for you from him. This one is called "Hail to the King" by, of course, Chris, Minnesota Fresh. So you listen to that. We'll come back. We'll talk to him a little bit more about what had happened right here on Filter Free America.
Hail to the king, and lots of love.
Yeah.
May he protect us.
From the evil.
Hail to the king, lots of love.
Yeah.
May he protect us from evil.
Hail to the king of the fathers of the nations. I'm a guy, but I swear these fucking devils all racist. But I try not to hate, just debate you from the basis. I hit you with these facts and then watch you pick up your faces. And now you feeling guilty, you're swearing that I'm fallacious, when all I got is facts in these actual situations. Now I could take you back to when crack was in the 80s and crack was in them babies, them crackers was going crazy. Now I could take you back to the Black Panther. Shout out to my strong sister Angela, R.I.P. to Hampton, and so to Huey Newton and the side of Shakur, and all the people I ain't mentioned, cause it's so many more. Say what you do when it's for, I say it's so many poor, and if nobody stands up, we just get used to the floor. We just get used to losing you from being shot at trying to shoot. So if they call them white lies, then black must be the truth. So bow down.
Hail to the king, and lots of love.
Yeah.
May he protect us
Roll a spliff on this one.
from the evil. Hail to the king,
Yeah.
lots of love. May he protect us from evil.
Hail Selassie, naysayers should stop it. Who are you to say the dude is not a prophet? But if you possess agape, your people is the topic. They scandalize your name, better keep your right hand, better keep your mind right, cause our babies are getting slain. You genocide, abortion becoming our main thing. I swear they trying to kill us, but not before they bill us for all the fucking pills and the ills that condemn us. But I fear no man, no blind, or tell you so long. We've come a long way, but there's more, so hold on to your vision and your rifle for dear life, cause life is sure, dear Lord. See, every night we fight for our freedom, to be the light till righteous we become. Rastafari, I 5%. We know, so tell them motherfuckers watch the throne. I'm gone. Hail to the king and lords of love. May he protect us from the evil. Hail to the king, lords of love. May he protect us from the evil.
Hello, my name is Sage Francis. You're listening to Filter Free America on the internet. Enjoy.
You're listening to Filter Free America.
And we're back right here on Filter Free America. Joey Vincent in your ears. Our guest today, Chris Lollie, also known as Minnesota Fresh, and he is telling us, this is the first sit-down interview that you've done about this. Is that right?
Yeah.
And you're telling the whole story here with us. You were approached by Fox News. You gave them a taste.
We met up actually at the BCA.
And tell people who don't know what that is.
The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension.
I love that you took it to the enemy's front door. You're like, yeah, I'll talk to you. But we're gonna do it right here at their front door.
But
we're gonna film that shit.
It's right around the corner from where I live too. So it's like, okay, perfect. So
you're in the enemy's backyard.
Yeah, they met me there. And they're like, okay, you want to set the camera here? You want the sign in the background? Oh yeah, so
I thought it was the Boundary Waters canoe area. Screwed that one up.
Close.
But
But number one, thank you for doing that. We were a small operation here. You probably could have got this story told on a much bigger thing to start with, but I appreciate you.
You were one of the first people to contact me on I want to interview you.
Right.
Dude, so much going on, but I'm almost certain you were the
not
first
shit happens
person.
in this country about police.
You know how excited Joey is that this happened to you?
Here's what it is, right? Here's what it is. We're talking about police brutality and hip hop music. This is my motherfucking Disneyland.
And it's local.
That shit came up in my news feed ASAP.
Right, I'm on it.
It's like, what's the, and it's close? Yeah, you hit me up real quick, man, and
I've slept very little since we've talked. We just got done hearing on the break. We just got done hearing "Hail to the King" by Chris, Minnesota Fresh. Again, check out his music. I'll have links to his Reverb Nation page. Just Google Minnesota Fresh. Spell fresh with a FR number 3 SH.
Don't forget the 3 though.
Right? Get that. Check him out. Support him. He is fighting for all of us by telling his story, fighting the police. Do him a favor. Download his music. Share his music. And help him while he's helping you.
We gonna make it, man.
I hope so. Good. Yeah. I hope so. Let's go, Chris, real fast. What do I want to ask you? Let's go right here. All right. So we're gonna go to you going to court. This is July
31st. Yep.
Okay. And you went to court, and we know. Remind us again what you were charged with.
Disorderly conduct, obstruction of justice, and trespassing.
And being too fucking cool in the Skyway.
Swagging like a motherfucker in my hoodie and 3 jackets, warm as hell. I was damn near sweating in that motherfucking seat, but I didn't want to go out. It was cold. I was in a.
I don't blame you.
I was just stuck, man. It was cool. I was just sitting here, man, swagging.
Was it a trial or was it a
further arraignment? That was June 4th or something like that. It was, I had an arraignment, and I actually went in there expecting it all to be dismissed. So I was right up to the prosecutor, like, I'm Chris Lollie. Can you show me if he's like, okay, well, we got this, and I'll wait. So they called me up there, and they're like, no. I had to do they weren't asking for no jail time or anything like that, just pleading to petty misdemeanor or something like that.
So that was my next question was like, did they check
in one ear, and I'm looking at the judge like, yeah, nope. Not guilty. But she was like, but you don't need to do anything. Nope. I didn't do anything. I'm not finna take it. So.
People who've never been involved in crime, like myself, no, I've been in trouble so much. One of the things to do when they got a weak case against you is the prosecutor will try to get you to cop out and not take it to trial, so it doesn't cost the city any money, and then they can still get money off of you, and they'll trick you and try to persuade you. Well, look, you're not gonna do any time. It's just gonna be the misdemeanor now, not a felony. But fuck that. If you're fucking innocent, If you're fucking innocent,
There's no reason.
There's no reason to cop out to this thing, and you don't play into the system. It's a profit system. They're trying to generate revenue by locking you up or not locking you up or threatening you to be locked up.
Prison
What was your
industrial complex?
Exactly.
It's all about money.
That's all about money. What were they trying to scare you with? What time did they threaten you? Well, if we find you guilty on these, how long were they going to send you away, or what were they going to do to you?
Shout out to Luke, because I didn't know any of that. I mean, he told me exactly what I needed to know.
This is your lawyer you're talking about?
He said, "This is what they're giving you."
Real fast, who's your lawyer?
Luke Rizak. I can't think of how to spell his last name, but.
Okay.
He's
he
told
St.
me,
Paul's, Twin City, Minnesota attorney?
Yeah, yep. And he actually took my case pro bono through a private firm. He came
Good for
across
you,
my
sir.
story.
Good for you.
He told me, he was like, they want you to do, they want you to just at least plead to a petty. He was like, I know you're not going to take it, but being a lawyer, I got to tell you. Right. But he was like, what you want to do?
Has he seen the video? Is this
no,
video
he
in evidence
hasn't.
now?
Well, yes. Now, you know.
I mean, before, when he was taking the case pro bono.
No, that video.
Even better for you, Luke.
Yeah,
Good
this
job.
video was not used. The video that's floating around now was not used in me winning that case.
Is that because you didn't have your phone?
Well, see, that's shocking to me.
Yeah, they didn't use. None of that was used.
Is that
But you
because
told
you
your
didn't
lawyer
have your
was there.
phone, Chris?
Yeah. What? I'm sorry.
Is that because you didn't have your phone, or
Yeah,
what?
they had them for evidence and never used them for evidence because it was my evidence.
Right.
So yeah.
So it went through all the thing. Now, did you go to a trial? Or did it just keep pushing it back and eventually just
we
gave
went
up
to
trying
one more, and I didn't have a lawyer, so at first I didn't have a lawyer. So at the arraignment, I'm like, I'm not guilty. The next one came up the day before. I actually had to call him and see if I could set it further out because I hadn't got a lawyer yet. So
Did they allow you to push it back?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And they gave me enough time too. It was definitely enough. And Luke was real verbal. We definitely. Luke. Goddamn, man, Luke. Fucking.
Did Luke use the force?
Luke was
Star Wars, right?
yes. Thank you. Now I can put it into words, man. That motherfucker. He was just fuck my swag. He was like.
You hate lawyers, but if you get a good lawyer that's on your side, there ain't nothing better.
That motherfucker walked up in that courtroom like, I got you, man. Don't worry. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, they want you to take a petty. I'm your lawyer. I got to tell you about it. I know you ain't going to take it. What you going to do? No. All right, cool. We're going to go back up in here. We're going to get this chopped. I got this. We got this. But he wants you to have it so bad, but we're not going.
Right.
Man, Luke is he's a.
So how did it end? It never went to trial, I'm assuming?
Yeah, they dismissed. At that point in time, while we were there, he told the prosecutor. Up until the time we were in front of the judge, the prosecutor was still like, I wanted him to take a petty. But let's see if I can remember correctly.
I want that prosecutor to take a dick. That's what I want him to do.
Man, if you look at him, the toupee's just. Something like he got this comb over, you know what I'm saying? It's probably a comb in itself.
He hated your hair, is what it was.
He's like this motherfucker and his
nice
non-receding hairline. Either way, man, yeah, he looks like he need to do something with himself. But either way, he was just like he was adamant about it. So I can't remember exactly what Luke said, but it was just swaggish. But he said something like, while we were up there in front of the judge, he's like, I got this, I got this, and I got this. And I feel, the prosecution is compelled to dismiss us. Basically, oh my God, he used the force. Like literally, no, I bullshit you not. Because he told the prosecutor
this is not the criminal you're looking for. This is not.
He was like, basically, and he's gonna find, I got this and I got this, and the prosecution will find that so and so and so and so. It was just like, and then, the prosecutors was like, all right, man, whatever.
You just gave up.
He used the force. I didn't even, the way, it was smooth. It was definitely
You got a
smooth.
goddamn Jedi for a lawyer.
Yes.
Fuck that. I'll go rob a bank. I had that.
Nice, for real.
Shit.
He did not do it.
Now, did the judge at any time... see, I'm assuming that they had the video as an evidence. I'm like, well, fuck, you seen the video, it's bullshit. But did the judge make any comments about...
no, it was essentially like
a horrible thing to try to convict you of?
No, this was like a pile of, next.
Okay.
Next.
One of those things,
yeah.
So now, in regards to this case, 100% free and clear.
Yep.
Done. Not probation, not nothing. You walked out there, high five, Luke.
Yep. Oh, high five. Hell. And it was a freeze frame high five too.
Here is something, and I think I probably mentioned this on this podcast before, is that this is one of the things that, and there's so much stuff about American legal system that pisses me off, is that, okay, you were arrested, detained, assault, tased, okay, for something that got dismissed because it was bullshit, and they know it was bullshit. And here's where it really gets me upset, is what if we did what those police officers did to somebody? If I was to walk down the street and grab somebody, snatch them up, slap some cuffs on them, tase them, right? Rip their 17 coats open, right? They would put me underneath the jail, right? Why why don't cops, when there's a...
And Chris won. Chris came out on the good side of it, supposedly.
And why aren't these cops getting handcuffs put on them and them getting locked up and having to go through the same process of getting arrested, having to bail out? They kidnapped this man for doing nothing wrong.
If there were any consequences, they wouldn't act like that to begin with.
God, it just infuriates me to no end. Okay. Anyway, is there going to be a lawsuit? Are you going to sue St. Paul Police Department in the city of St. Paul?
I'm pursuing a complaint with Internal Affairs right now. I talked to my lawyer tomorrow.
The cops.
The cops. Yeah, and he was pretty
nice. Not that they work really fucking hard when a case like this.
Well, and people have been telling me, still be wary, but he was still pretty nice, and the story is a story, and he had seen the video somewhere else right after I had posted on Dayton's Bluff webs or something like that, he said, but he was pretty nice. But as far as the lawsuit goes, me and my lawyer, we got a meeting at 2 tomorrow.
Oh, you've got Luke for the lawsuit too?
No, Luke is helping me. I mean, Luke, I really don't know how this process goes, so he's talking to other people. He's going to get back at me with what he has. I don't know how.
Maybe that's not his forte. His forte is criminal defense, and maybe what you need is
I believe so,
like constitutional lawyer, somebody who knows.
Yeah, something like that. But the other lawyer that I'm in contact with right now, Andy, he's that type of lawyer, and we're meeting tomorrow at 2.
Okay.
And we're going to get that paperwork down to Internal Affairs. And
Andy, step your game up. You got to compete with Luke, man. We need another Jedi here.
Yes.
So we need to do that.
He's Obi-Wan, Andy-Wan Kenobi.
Right. And another thing I want to point out is if Chris takes this to like a civil case and he wins and he gets a reward or however much money, and don't take less than $1 million. Take $1 million. Guess who pays for that? It doesn't come out of the cop's pocket. It doesn't come out of the police department's pocket. It doesn't come out of the city's pocket. It comes out of you, the taxpayer's pocket. That's what happens. I'm not really familiar with St. Paul's history as much as I am Minneapolis. I've got a fucking, they hate me. They banned me on their Facebook page. I call bullshit on them all the time. I tag them on all kinds of bullshit. I tweet them. They fucking hate me. They're gonna kill me one day. Look, camera, if I ever get shot, it's gonna be a Minneapolis cop.
Me too. Just say, or St. Paul, just put me in there too.
Minneapolis is like I looked at a stat. There's like $7 million of combined payouts for all these police brutality things that came up against them. But you pay for that as a taxpayer. That comes out of your pocket. Those are your funds. That's your money that these police officers are wasting by, number one, just wasting their time with an innocent person, but then getting sued for abusing this person. So keep that in mind, and you might want to start calling your politician of choice, your police department, and things like that, and let them know that you don't want your money being wasted in that way. But that being said, get every goddamn dollar that you can get because you deserve it. Let's go with this. What would you like to see in regards to changes in law enforcement in America? What's important to you right now?
Well, I can say too, the main thing, I guess you could start with cameras. Cameras for the
body
uniform.
Cameras on
body,
cops.
Definitely body.
That to me is a no-brainer.
That's what I was just going to say.
They'll film you in every goddamn instance, but they won't film themselves.
Exactly, and it needs to be video and audio, all of that.
And a third-party person that not the cops dealing with it, so they don't handle their own shit.
Oh,
right. There's some cities that have that.
Officer,
right?
An actual peace officer,
right? Somebody who's not attached to that thing. Because there's some cities that have them, and there's lots of cases with cops vandalizing their cameras and doing shit like that too. Yeah, it's some bullshit. But yeah, I'm totally with you on that. What else? Anything else you just think of that's important to you as far as law enforcement goes, the legal system in general?
Well, I guess one thing it's a fleeting thought, but I think it's still something pretty huge. I think all cops should undergo it's something. Whether it's a 2-year sociology degree or something like that, or you know, a psychological test, or, you know,
Well, they do
racial
have those.
sensitivity, you know, like, you know, show a picture of a black guy and test his brain pattern and see what happens in there.
Let me get you a thing. When I posted one of the mini stories that I posted about your thing on my personal Facebook feed, and I forget the lady's name because I would call her out if I had it available to me. I could, but anyway, I should. Anyway, point was, she was saying to me, you know, Joey, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't have any idea about the police. What you need to do is do a ride along with a cop and see what they go through, whatever. My first response to her was like, number one, why the hell am I going to go for the ride along so I can sit there next to a cop who's going to be on his P's and Q's, doing exactly what he's supposed to do, how he's supposed to do it when a citizen's sitting next to him? That defeats the purpose, okay? And another part of my response to her was like, why don't cops go out of uniform on a ride-along with people who live in lower income areas or who live in areas like that and see what it's like on the reverse side and have a cop fuck with them and not knowing that they're cops and see how they get treated, because people don't get that shit. It's a fucking difference, man. You're in a nice area of town, cops treat you a lot different. You got a not so nice vehicle, things don't look right, you know, cops treat you a whole different way. Not every cop.
There's definitely a profiling thing going on. It's so well hidden, you know. It's just, it's too well hidden. That's all. Yeah.
So people get some perspective, learn what's going on, what's really going on, because what affects you one way affects other people differently. Lastly, I guess I'll kind of wrap up with this. Is there any advice to anyone who might end up one day in a position like you were that you would want to share with them?
I mean, point blank period. I mean, figure out your rights, you know, learn. I mean, search and research,
right.
You know, just keep it going.
Don't wait for it to happen to do that.
Yeah. I mean, and even then, you know, we gotta each one teach one, you know, so I gotta teach my kids their rights, you know, but you know, it's generational. If you don't know, you just don't know. And if ain't nobody trying to tell you, you just ain't never gonna know, you know, it's just a perpetual downturn basically. So, you know, knowing your rights, and not only that, but using your phone.
Right.
You know,
if you can do it, be ready to do it.
Get that. Make sure you got that camera phone, and you know, I guess sometimes you might even want to not let them know you're recording if you can do that. But
right. And it's perfectly. Don't let a cop tell you anything. It was decided. Tell me if you want to pull that up and give me a exact date and what it was. But it's been decided by the Supreme Court that everyone is legally allowed to film a police officer going about their business in public. They are public officials, and you can film whatever's happening. And why I say that is like sometimes you're not in a position like Chris was where you're able to turn your camera on, okay? But we as citizens, we need to take care of each other. If you see a police officer arresting somebody, document it.
Tell everybody.
You never know what you're going to be filming. You never know whose life you're going to save. And who you're going to keep out of going for prison for an illegal reason. Not saying that happens every single time. Not saying there's not legitimate arrests. Not saying there's not good cops out there doing a good job. But just film them. You can do that. It should be done.
Just in case.
Especially if you're in a city where they don't film their own activities. So do that for. Am I right on that, Tony? Do you have that or?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the exact date on it. Looks like November 2012.
Okay, so that was
this one on?
Yeah, fairly recent thing. It's been decided. You can film, as long as you don't interfere with the cop and the thing, film the shit, document it again, because you might be
completely within your rights to do so.
Very good. I guess number one, Chris, thank you very much for doing this. I appreciate what you're doing. I think I said on your page, I'm very honored to know you, and because you are doing something very important. Not everybody is willing to put up a fight against a legal system, so I commend you for that, number one, and I wish you the best of luck.
It's a huge monster, man.
It is, but we all need to do that. If we all do what you're doing in these kind of situations, we can defeat that monster. And like I said, I hope you get fucking paid. I do. Also, before I close out here, don't forget to listen all the way through this episode at the very end, where you're going to play another track of his. It's called Curtain Call. This is another excellent song. I love this one to death. You'll hear that as well going out of the episode here. Also, as always, listeners, please go to the Filter Free America Facebook page. Click like on the page. We post all kinds of stories, a lot of stuff about police stuff, about politics, about social issues, all that stuff. You're invited to join in the conversation. Leave comments. If I post something you don't agree with, challenge my ideas. We'll talk about it in a very respectful way. We use that as kind of like our message board for the podcast, so do that. If you're on Twitter, follow us on Twitter at FF America. Again, America is spelled with a K. Follow us on there. If you want to send us an email, you can give us a complaint, suggestion. Maybe you want to have your story featured on here. Send that to us at filterfreeamerica. Again, America spelled with a K at gmail.com. iTunes listeners, please give us a star rating and review. Subscribe to us as well. If you use the Stitcher Radio app, add us to your playlist. Doing all that stuff is super helpful to what we're doing here and what we're trying to achieve on the podcast. So please help us out because we are trying to help you as well. Again, stay in there, listen to the song, and thank you for listening to the show. We'll see you guys next episode. Keep seeking the truth.
Minnesota fresh. They told me I think too much. You know what I told them? I might think too much, but I never not thought enough. Poetic with these letters, they tell me better my etiquette. But I'm gagging all these whack-ass rappers so they can never spit. I swear shit changed ever since the Reagan era. Niggas was broke, all the crack spots with sewer repairers or a select few. The rest is giving up everything but they left shoe. That'll show you what debt do. And lock us up like it's a 2-for-1 special. How we expect the oppressors to come and rescue. Now that's the fucking oxymoron. If it's your time, then it's your time. Make sure you hold your own when the law come. Man, fuck a charge if they ever say I caught some. I be damned if I ever say I saw something. If it's really something, my niggas is gon' ride with me. I ain't saying nothing, it's legal for you to lie to me. They tryna scare me with this life talk. If I ain't got nothing left, but I still get my rights off, nigga. This is the curtain call, nigga. If it ain't our time, how the fuck do y'all figure? Yeah, eventually times change. I'm painting you a picture, just checking your mind frame. Eventually minds change. I'm painting you a picture, just checking your time frame. Cause nothing ever stays the same. No, nothing ever stays the same. From the crack scandal, contraband scam from Contras up to Compton. Tell me now who responsible. They not responsible, so therefore they don't respond to you. But I don't need no permission for what I'm gonna do. First it was Black Panthers, then it's Crips and Bloods. They redirected the directions of them clips and slugs. That's that art of war shit, something like Sun Tzu. They ain't even fighting us, nigga, we still subdued. Feng Shui, why can't we just turn tables? We all brothers, but it's more like Cain and Abel. Metaphoric fables, went from following ladles. Now we follow labels, neither one of them saved you. We all looking for praise with no appraisal. Delusionary, niggas just mentally went disabled. So what the fuck is the plan? We all waiting, we're perishing every day. It's hard to stay patient. Finally, this is the curtain call, nigga. If it ain't our time, how the fuck do y'all figure? Eventually times change. I'm painting you a picture, just checking your mind frame. Eventually minds change. I'm painting you a picture, just checking your time frame. Cause nothing ever stays the same. No, nothing ever stays the same. I'm from the go where they murk a nigga for no reason. You ask me, that's all treason. Punishable by not breathing. See, it's all perpetuated. The fucking media's leading you, you're infatuated. Believe a fifth of what you see and none of what you hear. Die with love in your heart and never live in fear. Just a few cardinal rules, I ain't the Pope though. I'm just trying to plant a few seeds, maybe they won't grow. But if they do, it'll be beautiful, unusual. Like a rose that grew from the concrete in the view of you. Shout out to them niggas that's locked up in them cubicles. But if you ain't searching knowledge, you locked up in the cubicle. They can lock your body, not your mind. Better keep that shit in mind. Trying to make it, but it's probably not my time. See, still I got shit to say, so no way will I cease till I can kick my fucking feet up and say, finally, this is the curtain call, nigga. If it ain't our time, how the fuck do y'all figure? Eventually times change. I'm painting you a picture, just checking your mind frame. Eventually minds change. I'm painting you a picture, just checking your time frame. Cause nothing ever stays the same. No, nothing ever stays the same. Finally.
Ladies and gentlemen,